So if a patient goes to you, they're one of two categories. They're either, as you say, headed for dentures, really bad teeth, can't save them, or they're wearing a denture.
Yes.
What are their dental implant options?
Okay, so there's a lot of them. All right, so basically the lowest option is going to be a couple implants in the bottom, and then it's like a male-female attachment, but then it's a denture that comes in and out of your mouth.
So it snaps in,
snaps out, but it's still a denture, still acrylic. Okay, denture teeth. Dentures are bulkier, they're thicker because they're acrylic, which is plastic. You have to have bulk so they don't break all the time.
Okay.
So that's generally not told to people. And usually it's a lot of maintenance on those. You have to go in and change the little attachments quite often. And 2 implants just a lot of times, are not enough to hold.
And this is going on a lot in Chicago?
It seems to be
With
where a lot
dentists?
Yes, going on a lot. They call it an overdenture. Okay. Now the second option would be you put in more implants. So you put in 4 implants. Okay. It's a very common, popular situation. So you put in 4. And the temporary teeth and the final teeth are still denture teeth. Okay. And the one thing going back to dentures, and you can also do that removable with 4 implants too if you wanted to.
Okay.
But remembering denture teeth and denture acrylic is soft. So they need to have bulk so it doesn't break all the time.
Okay.
So even if you have implants, doesn't mean if you have a denture tooth that's used, you're still going to have a lot of bulk in your mouth. Okay. So we don't do those in the practice. We do no acrylic final restorations for anybody in the practice. Okay. So we do 2 things. We do either a nanoceramic, which is a new revolutionary material that we're using routinely every day, or zirconia. Okay. So on a hardness scale of 1 to 10, denture acrylic being a 1, and zirconia being a 10, the nanoceramic's in there like 6.5 or 7. So what that means is because these materials on this end of the spectrum are harder, you need less material. So
they're lightweight.
Lightweight and thinner. Because with the denture material, you have more bulk, you need more of it. So a lot of times patients will have more acrylic here or here, even with implants. With these other materials, it's much thinner because you need less material. And there's a whole nother issue to talk about when you start talking about thickness of material. If you need the material, the acrylic, to not break, you need to have a certain amount of bulk. So when patients go from teeth to no teeth, they still may have a lot of bone left. Well, to make those acrylics work from an implant prosthesis, they may have to have some of their bone removed. And that's something that's not really told to patients when they're talking about acrylic prostheses.
So you don't like snap in, snap out, or even the acrylic teeth in general, period?
We do not do those at Start Smiling Dental Implant Centers. I do not like them. I do not feel they support long-term success with dental implants. That's my
So you like teeth, obviously, that don't come in and out?
Correct.
That's what everybody wants anyway.
Correct.
So tell me that process. Because you do it faster than most of the people in the country.
Okay, so routinely now, what we do if
Let's say an 80-year-old woman comes in, she's wearing a denture.
Yes.
You get all of her records. What are her options?
So at first we design her smile for her digitally. Okay, so we know now digitally what this is going to look like. We'll show it to the patient. They may see it. They say, well, I don't really understand it. Show me something else. So we'll show some examples. Then they have to proceed.
So you're showing them their face with the new teeth on like a computer?
Yes.
Okay. So they get to pick out their smile.
Get to pick out their smile.
Okay.
And then they meet with our staff, and they'll talk about like females like softer, rounded, more angles to teeth. Male like a little bit more square and sturdier. And we talk about sizes of teeth because there's a whole way that you choose this. I mean, if somebody's got a short, squattier face, you don't give them really long teeth. And if somebody's got a longer teeth, you don't give them a longer face. You don't give them short, squatty teeth. There's a level of cosmetic dentistry and actually cosmetic surgery, or more or less, because you start to talk about the planes of the face and how they line up between your eyes, your nose, and your lips. And when you smile, the zenith of your smile. Like when you smile, not that I have the perfect smile, but when you smile, your lip should sit where your gum goes like this, your lip should sit right there. So when you're designing somebody's smile when they don't have their teeth, or going from having teeth or not, or maybe they're having a couple implants and changing the rest of the teeth with veneers, you have to know the proportions of the teeth. And what does that translate to the final result?
Okay.
You see? And I was really lucky because I did a lot of work for cosmetic dentists that were getting their certification in the American Academy of Cosmetic Dentistry. I did their surgery for them. So I was forced after my residency to go back and learn a lot about cosmetic, because most surgeons get out of their residency. They don't do temporaries. They don't do crowns anymore. They're doing surgery. So I had to go back and understand what the golden rule is of cosmetic dentistry, what those proportions mean for your central tooth, your lateral tooth.
Okay.
And we build that in to our surgical procedures. And that's unique for a surgeon. I can attest to that That is extremely unique. Most surgeons get in and do their surgery and close it up and then hand it off, okay? You don't do surgery like that. You do surgery planning from what the final tooth should look like and build back. The surgery is the easy part.
Okay. It's making the teeth look
That's
real.
the difficult part. That's where the art is.
Okay.
And most people don't tell you that. But to put an implant in is very, very simple. It's very simple, okay? It's the blending together of the prosthetics. Now, so you asked me about this. So Mrs. Smith comes in. She's 80 years old, okay? So she comes in. She has her planning.
On a Monday.
Comes on a Monday, has her digital planning. We take our records, everything we have to do. She has her surgery on Wednesday. Now, after the surgery, our prosthodontists take over. What they'll do is we have to do some impression materials because no matter how good the technology is, you still need to get a reference model that we need.
Okay.
And then from there, okay, we put these little flags in the implants. We do a 3D scan of it. And that goes to our 3D printer. Now, you hear a lot about 3D printers in the news today with COVID and making respirators. It's the same exact printer, same type of thing. So from there now, they're going to give us a temporary that we're going to be able to try into the mouth and verify the digital design.
Okay.
So we'll see how it lines up, see where the teeth are, how everything looks. And once that's set, now, if, let's say, Mrs. Smith has to go home for whatever reason, and she's going to come back 2 days later or 7 days later, they could actually leave with that as their initial temporary for a few days. Okay? But there's two beliefs. One belief is it's better to do that with patients so they can see how they're going to work through some things. And the other belief is it's just from there to go right to the end. So from that standpoint, now we take that record again, scan it again with the digital scanner, and it goes into the process of finishing. And that could be done in as little as 2 to 3 hours.
Okay, so she comes on a Monday, back on a Wednesday, and gets her teeth on Thursday?
And they're not acrylic. They're nanoceramic or zirconia. Can be done.
And the gums look real, the teeth look real?
Real. Because now, let's talk about denture teeth again. Denture teeth, even in today's day and age, are still acrylic. They're plastic. So there's limits. There's a finite number of shapes and sizes and colors. In denture acrylic, you really have, for the gum tissue, you really have a choice of 4 to 5 colors. Well, there's a lot more people's gingiva that are different colors in 4 to 5 base shades. Now, with what we're doing, it's totally customized, totally unique. You pick the color, you can have different shade characteristics. It's milled to your digital design, which you've seen and approved for what you want for yourself.
Based on your face.
Based on your facial profile, smile. Where your eyes are, where the middle of your nose is, where the zenith of your smile are. This all comes into creating the unique smile that's yours, okay? That's why sometimes you look at somebody and you can say, they had crowns done, it doesn't look good. Okay?
And so you could be 80, 90 and do this.
The oldest.
Or are you too old?
No, you're never too old. It's going to come down to how do you want to live the rest of your life?
Okay.
Enjoying your life.
What's your oldest patient?
97.
Why would a 97-year-old want to do this?
They want to eat their food and see their grandkids. They want to go to a restaurant and not have to look at a menu and say, I got to order the
So instead of a denture, you gave a 97-year-old person upper and lower teeth that don't come out.
Yes.
I mean, you had to be a little nervous.
No.
No.
I don't get nervous with this. I get excited about it.
Okay.
I love it. It to me, you know, I'm a very passionate person. Sometimes that's good or bad. But I really love being able to transform their life like this because, you know, it's sad for a lot of people. You know, they stop living their life. You know, they want to do things. They want to
because they're ashamed?
Yeah, well, they go to a restaurant. You know, you go out with your friends, you do something, but you can't order because you have to, you know, first of all, you can't chew it because things are going to be moving around, or you get something stuck underneath. You got to excuse yourself to go to the bathroom to clean it out. You know, that's a hard way to live routinely. You know, and I think at some point in time, patients, you know, they get tired of that, you know, and they get tired of, you know, buying adhesives, you know, and I got to be honest with you, for every patient that somebody could show me, I've got my dentures and I'm happy with them, I could show you 100 that can't use them because every patient is different.
So this is an alternative to dentures. No more dentures in your practice. Is that your goal?
We don't do acrylic in our practice. So not only no more dentures, we don't do acrylic. The only
So most of the practices across the country, this is what I'm picking up on, that are doing implant dentistry, are putting big pieces of plastic acrylic as the new teeth that they give you.
That's correct. They may be secured to a titanium bar.
Which are big and bulky. You don't like those?
No, we don't do it in the practice. We stopped. We stopped doing that. We stopped doing that a year ago. We don't do it anymore.
And you're several thousand less than the big guys doing this.
Yes. Here's why. Number one, when those do that, when the big guys do this, and they do those temporary teeth for 6 to 8 months, which are, they put the implants in, but you still leave with temporary teeth.
Okay.
And then from there, 6 months later, you wait and they tell you you're going through healing or you got to let everything heal, which is Again, a misnomer. When you go to the orthopedic surgeon and they put a knee or hip in, they don't tell you can't walk for 6 weeks or for 6 months. They tell you be careful, but you're back to function. Then they have to start the prosthetic phase, which is not how we do it. It's conventional. The gooey stuff goes in the mouth. Then they have to wait. Then they have to take other ones. Then you get a try-in. Do
you look at that as old school?
It's definitely outdated. I mean, it's not that it's wrong. It's it's not like you could say you're doing it the wrong way. That's not the case. But it's outdated.
The public doesn't know the difference. This
They have
is
no
part
idea.
of your frustration.
Oh my gosh, it's unbelievable. Yeah, they don't. They have no idea that these other things are available to them.
So what could an expert? Because I have to take your word for it on this, but could an expert sit here and say, that Petrungaro, I don't know if he could do this, like come in on a Monday and on Wednesday you get a permanent set of teeth, upper and lower.
I hear it all the time. I have a lot of patients who come in for second or third opinions, and they've already knows what we've done because their friend has referred them to us and they've been someplace else. And I've had at least 4 to 5 people tell me that the other place says that you can't do it that way because things are not going to heal this way and that way. And my response is well, that is what I would expect them to say.
Okay.
But if you can manage things the way we do, then those issues are not going to occur. Okay. And it's kind of a lot about our field, to be honest with you. A lot of people want to hold that back. And I do want to clarify, because I said there's no acrylic done in our practice. That's not entirely true. Like if we do a single tooth implant that needs a temporary for a short period of time, that will be acrylic. It'll be an acrylic temporary. Okay. But it's not big and bulky and all over the place. But we don't do any dentures. Nothing is removable in our practice, and there is no denture acrylic used in our practice.